was a chilly morning, the day after Thanksgiving. I was going to harvest those two large tomatoes that I'd seen the night before. Totally excited, clippers with hand. No tomatoes? Where are they? I looked around and couldn't find them anywhere. I heard this chirping sound coming from my side. I turned and looked. There's two squirrels sitting on the fence eating those tomatoes. Thieves! I hate squirrels. One morning, lying in bed, I thought, why am I so tired? I know I'm getting old, but is it just normal, therefore, to feel drained of all energy? I just don't feel I want to get up. I'm exhausted. I start, I've got to get up. I've got a family to take care of. I'm just not motivated. I started thinking about my family and how my wife had also been complaining about aches and pains and just wanting to sit down and do nothing. She had started experiencing flare-ups and skin issues. And we thought we'd taken care of those. And my two teenage children, they're in their prime. They have brain fog, lack concentration, and are exhausted at seemingly nothing. Thinking about that, I started to cringe. We used to be a family full of vitality, wanting to do so much stuff. And yet now, all we want to do is sit down, watch TV, be couch potatoes. I felt awful that we're feeling this way. We didn't spare any expense at buying the organic food, healthy. Yet, there was something that was not working. That food wasn't giving us what we needed in terms of energy. I realized that despite eating the right foods, there was something lacking that was starting with the foods. I started to follow the journey of how those organic leafy greens get to the produce store. I discovered that they often travel great distances to get to you, like 1,500 miles. Now, add in the time they're at the store and then your refrigerator before you finally consume them. That time loss between when they're harvested and get to the final destination results in a significant loss of nutrient density, particularly vitamin C, folate, and other antioxidants. That nutrient loss begins immediately when they're harvested and brought to you. That loss for a week in cold storage can amount to over 50% compared to something that's just harvested and eaten that same day. When you add in the time that you consume them, it's probably over 70% loss. I recall seeing at the produce aisles something that was like water being sprayed on those leafy greens every few minutes. The more I researched, I found that may have a solution that would have other items like chlorine and ozone to make a certain appearance. That could be harmful to health. This was hard to believe. I wanted an alternative to this. I wanted foods that had the highest nutrient values, antioxidants, foods that support health. My search for answers led me to something that was life-changing, yet straightforward. Controlled Environment Agriculture, CEA for short. You don't need a big garden, acres of land, a green thumb, or perfect weather. Even in a small space, like a kitchen countertop, a window shelf, a balcony, it is possible to grow fresh, healthy, nutritious food throughout the year. CEA utilizes recirculating water techniques, including hydroponics. It has vertical planters for space efficiency, energy efficient LED lights to create the optimum environment to grow food in your own space. What's amazing is that you get to harvest fresh, nutritious vegetables in your own space. You're in control. You know exactly what goes into your food. CEA gives you the freedom and the confidence to grow a vast range of foods from a small space and take in charge of what nutrition goes into your own body. Research studies undertaken by the Organic Center of Education and Promotion in 2004 and the University of Missouri Extension Office in 2024 concluded that growing food at home using CEA methods elevates the level of vitamins, antioxidants, and beneficial minerals in your food, providing proper practices are followed. So here's how we can incorporate growing food, CEA, at your home. The best way is to start small. I suggest you purchase a small hydroponics kit that can be placed next to your kitchen sink or the window shelf or the balcony. It should fit in a space less than 2 square feet. These small kits, costing under $100, contain everything you need to grow your food. They're compact. They contain everything you need. LED grow lights, assorted seed pods, nutrient solutions for you to grow 10 to 12 plants at a time. And they have complete instructions, easy to follow. Soon you'll be able to harvest salads from your kitchen countertop or window shelf or a herb garden from your balcony. These things taste amazing. With some practice, the next move would be to invest in a couple of vertical towers to increase your growing capacity to 70 to 80 plants at a time. This will provide you, a family of 4, with a daily assortment of fresh, healthy, nutritious leafy greens and herbs in your own space. This investment of $1,000 will easily be paid off within 6 months by you not purchasing the organic label leafy greens from the store. When people grow concerned about their health and the nutritional value of their food, they can turn to CEA to reclaim their health, rebuild confidence, and discover hope. So I suggest make a commitment. Purchase your first hydroponics kit this week. Real nourishment begins at home. This is something we can all do. So let's get healthy and grow together.